Hello, welcome to Notes 3.04. We're going to keep this short and sweet. A midsegment of a triangle. Midsegment, it's also called a midline, I have written here, is a segment that connects two midpoints. So in this picture here, we have triangle ACB. D is going to be a midpoint because this length from A to D and D to C are equal. Same thing on the right-hand side, this double dash line and double dash line is also telling them that E is a midpoint. So E is the midpoint of CB and D is the midpoint of AC. So when you connect that midline, there are two rules that kind of follow. Properties of a midline. A midline is 1/2 the measure of its third side or parallel side. So I'm going to say parallel side. And that's also the next piece. A midline is parallel to the third side. So when you draw in this midline, DE will be parallel to AB. So I'm going to write DE is parallel to AB. DE is also half of its measure. So if I measured DAB here with a ruler, say that's about 3 centimeters long. Okay, so if AB is 3 centimeters, DE ends up being about 1.5 centimeters, 1.5. Okay, because half of 3 is 1.5. So how we write this is that DE is a shorter segment equals 1/2 of AB. Similarly, if I had to double or cross multiply here, we know that twice the length of DE equals AB. So we're going to look at that relationship, half or double something. Knowing that DE is the smaller one, you would multiply it by 2 to equal the larger one. So looking at example 1, D is the midpoint of AC. So D is a middle point. And F is a midpoint of AB. So we know D to F runs parallel to CB. Find the length of DF. Well, I just told you it's in a relationship of half. So 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. So D to F is a measure of 6 units long. Moving down to exercise 2. You try. Given DE, DF, and FE. So D to E, E to F, and D to F are all mid-segments. So when they tell you that word mid-segment, you know that point D is a midpoint, point E is a midpoint, point F is a midpoint. So in this case, if AB, so AB is the whole segment out here is 10, then the side running parallel to AB. So if AB is that whole segment of 10, then the side running parallel to AB is going to be 5. But you also know F is a midpoint. So if AB is a whole length of 10, then AF and FB are each going to be 5 as well. So how long is DE? It would be 5. If D to F, if this segment D to F here is 3, then its parallel side. So DF runs parallel to CB. So if DF is 3, then C to B is 6. Because those sides run parallel to each other. Okay. So this is coming down, this is coming down. Also, knowing that whole thing is 6 and E is a midpoint, C to E and E to B would each be 3. Okay. The last measure, we have that, so I'm sorry, going back here, CB is 6. If EF, the short measure in here, is 4, then its parallel side would be double its measure. It's longer, becomes 8. So if we're looking for AC, AC would be 8. What is the perimeter of triangle DEF? Well, DEF is this inner triangle, is 3 plus 4 plus 5. So remember, perimeter is the sum of your sides. It's going to be 12. What's the perimeter of the big triangle? I'm sorry, not the big triangle. Here they're asking for the perimeter of a four-sided shape, ADEF. ADEF is here, ADE down to F. So it's going to be this parallelogram here. So kind of drawing that outside the picture, if I translate that picture out here, ADEF, we know DE is 5. FE, they told us, was 4. Now, A to F is also 5 because these sides are parallel. And with D being a midpoint, we know AD is 4. So the perimeter there is going to be 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5 is going to be 18. Okay. So maybe redrawing that picture outside of the diagram is helpful for you to kind of pull out the pieces because there's a lot going on in here. There's a lot of midpoints and midsegments and about 6 different triangles as well. Exercise 3. A little bit more information that's missing from this example is that B and D are midpoints. So B is a midpoint and D is a midpoint, making that a midsegment. And they give us that the length of B to D is twice x plus 8, and the length of A to E is 11x subtract 5. And they ask us to find the length of A to E. Well, we don't just write 11x plus 5, we need to know what x is. So what we need to do is make an equation. But what we know here is that the shorter segment, BD, doubled equals this longer segment. So this measure gets doubled again over to equal the long segment. Again, this measure doubles for the longer measure. So if we take twice BD, it'll equal the long segment AE. So twice the little equals the big. And you have to kind of look at the picture to know what's smaller and what's larger. So 2 times 2x plus 8 equals 11x minus 5. 4x plus 16 equals 11x minus 5. Combine like terms, so you get 21 equals 7x. X will be 3. If you need help with that kind of math, okay, you need to be seeing me. If you're struggling with this algebra and not getting the same answers as I am, we need to have a chat. But the last case here is to find the length of AE equals 11 times 3 minus 5 is 33 subtract 5 will be 28. So that's it for exercise 3. On the back, there's 3 quick examples. Number 4, BT is a midsegment of triangle MAH, DC is a midsegment of this littler triangle BHT, and MA is 42. Well, in the large triangle, if the midsegment there is the long segment is 42, its midsegment is going to be 21. And now if we focus on this littler triangle with its midsegment drawn in, 21 gets divided by 2 to be 10.5. So it's really half of a half. Number 5, MN, NO, and MO are midsegments. MN is 19, 18, and 16. What's the perimeter of the large shape? So if these are all midpoints, then this 16 becomes 32 over here. This 18 doubles to become 36. 19 doubles to become 38. So we're going to add up our 3 sides. 32 plus 36 plus 38 gives us 106 as the perimeter. Okay. So again, we doubled each side. So what was parallel became doubled. So the 19 became the 38 and so on. Angle measures. VU is a midsegment of RST. One of the very first things we mentioned at the beginning of these problems is that a midsegment is parallel to its opposite side. So what we know about VU being a midsegment is that this side runs parallel to SR. Now, if we extended those lines and kind of extended this triangle, what we get there is a set of parallel lines cut by a transversal, okay? Is how I want you to kind of see that. And then you kind of have another part of your triangle kind of shown in. So if that 81 is here, okay, that corresponds to an 81 over here. So we have a set of corresponding angles. So we have 81 degrees there. Next, VUT. VUT is the third angle in that triangle. So if I have 81, 32, V to U to T, V to U to T is the third angle there. So if we take 180, subtract 81, sorry about that, subtract 32, we get 67 degrees. So we have some corresponding angles that we might see in the question, but that third angle there is going to be 67. So that's it for notes today. So I told you it was going to be a quick, short and sweet notes. But this is the meat and potatoes. These are the questions we need you practicing for your quizzes next week. Okay? So exercise 1, exterior angle theorem. Exercise 2. Oh, some of you struggled on this from classwork 303. So in triangle ABC, an exterior angle at C measures 85. So I need you drawing pictures. An outside measure equals 85. So I'm going to kind of draw almost a perpendicular here, but the outside angle at C measures 85. Then I can connect to kind of make the rest of my triangle. So I know some of you have struggled a bit with making the diagrams look to scale, but now we need to find the longest side of our picture. Longest side is always opposite the largest angle. Exercise 3, you need to work on finding all your angles to decide the longest side of triangle ABD. So you need to know all of your angles in there. Exercise 4 is talking about an isosceles triangle with vertex R. I can help you sketch that. That means the angle R is up top. S and T are the other two angles. Doesn't matter where they go, but those are going to be your base angles. The next couple questions. Exercises 5, be careful, it has perimeter there, so we're not going to have 180 degrees. Number 6, I think you've just recently seen. 7 and 8 are also Pythagorean theorem questions. So those are all kind of geared to get us thinking about the quiz. And then next week, we're going to start thinking about proofs. Can't wait. Thank you.